business strategist and leadership coach. And I'm here today with a dear friend of mine, Reuben Miranda. We made friends on the internet through LinkedIn during the pandemic, just in each other's comments. And I love you to the moon and back. I even put on my sparkly jacket just for you.
Hello, Katie. Good morning. Well, good evening to you.
I know. So this is Friday night for me. I'm spending
It's
my Friday night with you, and this is your Saturday morning.
Yep. I mean, look, you could have worse Friday nights, all right.
I have.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I've decided, for decorum's sake, I'm not going to come on in my mankini. So I've just, decided to dress like a normal person.
I understand. Yeah, no banana hammocks.
No banana hammocks. None.
Next time.
Next time. Yeah.
So we're here today because you're the guru of good customer service, and
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll take that.
yeah, I mean, you've worked in hospitality for a really long time,
I
and
have.
you advise companies on how to improve their customer service, not only to make their clients feel warm and fuzzy, but to actually make more money.
Yes.
And I'm a big believer that good customer service actually empowers your clients to be better clients for you.
I agree with that.
Right?
I do agree with that.
So, we didn't really plan what we're going to talk about in this topic.
No.
I'm curious, if you were to pick like 3 tenets of good customer service, what would they be?
Right. I think the first thing would definitely be your meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a smile. One of the most powerful things any server or anybody who works in the industry has in their arsenal is a smile.
Yeah.
All right, that immediately puts people at ease. They feel that you are actually pleased that they're there, which,
Right.
okay, inside you might not be, but they don't need to know that.
Well, what's interesting about smiling is, yes, like we tend to go towards people who have a brighter face, who are smiling.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like if we have, I know whenever I'm going into a store and there are 2 options of people to talk to, the person who's smiling is the person I go to.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
it plays out like we don't realize how much we remember that when we go to a restaurant or into a store or a shop or something. We tend to go back to the place where we felt like we were liked.
Exactly. And it's been really interesting because with the pandemic and all that, everybody's wearing a face mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can still see the smile in their eyes. The eyes crinkle up. When I smile behind my face mask, I've got bloody laugh lines and all sorts of shit happening around my eyes.
Yep.
So it still does come across. So that would be the first thing, smile. The second thing is your knowledge. Okay, you've got to know your menu
Yeah.
because you're gonna get asked all sorts of weird ass questions.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, you're not going to be able to know it 100%, but you've got to have the bare bones at least, so you can explain to the customer what it is they're ordering, what's in the dish, especially if it's on a specials board or something. So that's number 2, and number 3 would be your own personal grooming. No
Mm-hmm.
one wants to see a messy looking server because the first thing you think about is like you're going to be thinking, ah, shit, he or she looks so unkept.
Yeah.
What's the state of the kitchen like?
Yep.
What's the state of the restaurant going to be like?
Right.
So those would be, I suppose, in no particular order, but my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's so many other things
Right.
to get into.
Well, what I love
Yeah,
about
so,
your naming is 2 of those things are completely nonverbal,
correct,
right?
correct.
It's like it's the thing that hits you right off the bat as you walk in, as you have that first impression of the person. Like you
Yep,
haven't even heard a word out of their mouth, and you're noticing their hygiene and how they're put
yep,
together, and you're noticing if they
yep.
look happy to see you. And I love Ashley
Exactly.
comments that you can tell a smiler over the phone. You can absolutely hear someone
Yes.
smiling in
Yes.
their voice, right?
Yes.
It's one of the tricks of the trade when you're cold calling. You have to smile the
Yeah.
whole time. Like your cheeks are like you have to like massage at the end of the day really hard.
I know, right? You end up getting chipmunk cheeks.
Get a
No,
weird twitch at the end of the week.
you got a mouthful of nuts, and but the thing is, there's a massive language barrier here. Okay, a lot of the servers, their English isn't very good. And again, what cuts through all of that is your smile and your body language. Your body language is another big thing.
Mm,
If you're standing there slumped over with your hands in your pockets, you obviously are not pleased to see them.
no,
Um,
you'd rather be
if
looking
you're
at
standing right, if you're leaning up against the bar, looking at your phone and not paying attention to the customers, what does that say?
no.
You there is a there is a lot of people don't actually understand the importance of body language, and as well as I do, what your body says conveys a lot more than what your mouth does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, okay,
Well,
my mouth says
80% of communication is nonverbal,
right,
right? It's
right,
all body language. It's your facial expression. It's how it. I mean, it's mostly nonverbal. That's why when you go to a
yes,
foreign country, you can pretty much get around without speaking the same language because as humans,
correct,
we find a way to communicate.
yes, that's it, and the training I do, which actually I know mine is very target specific to restaurants and stuff. But a lot of what I talk about goes across the board
Right.
in most industries.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I find very very interesting about um, the service in America in restaurants and things like that is that the staff get paid something stupid like $1.50 or $2 an hour or whatever.
I got paid
Um,
$2.54 an hour.
there you go, there
Yeah.
you go. And you're working for tips, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you make money.
And
You don't get
that's how
any
you
money
make
in the business. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And this has always fascinated me because I've always thought, okay, the server's actually just going through the motions and being nice to you for their tips, which is fair enough. You don't have to love everybody that comes in the restaurant. I mean, to be fair, I never did. Um, but it's different here in the and in the UK. In the UK, you get paid a fixed salary and you get your tips on top of that. Now, when I was serving in the UK, on the weekends, I used to be rich. I'd make so much in tips.
Yeah.
It's a bit different here in Malaysia because people generally don't tip. Things are quite expensive, prices are quite expensive. There's a service charge on top of that, which a lot of the servers don't see. The company takes that,
Right.
which is pretty shitty.
Yeah. That's
Um,
clear.
that
Yeah.
really sucks.
Yeah.
So there's no push really for them to go over and above,
Right.
which is what happens in the US because you've got to make an effort because you need your money, you need your tips, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I've served. I've worked in numerous restaurants and um like there are servers who just don't put it on. It doesn't matter that they're dependent on the tips because it's such a culture of tipping that
Yep,
it actually like people are going to tip regardless.
right.
Right. Not to say that that's everyone. That's a very small majority or a small population of servers who are acting that way. But I think a lot of times it's just they don't know the best way to do things. Right.
Mm,
A lot of restaurants. So depending on the size of the restaurant and how much funding they have, they either have the training for their people or they don't.
yep. Yep.
It also depends on the local culture. Like I just moved to Philadelphia in October, and no offense, Philadelphia, but I've experienced some of the worst service I've ever experienced in my life here. It's just not warm. It's very rude.
Right.
It's very
Right. Okay. Now
like
that's interesting.
yeah.
That's interesting. Why do you say it's not warm, and why is it? Why do you reckon it's rude?
People don't smile. People
Okay.
there's no like hi, nice to see you, welcome in.
Right.
What do you want?
Right.
You know, it's very cut and dried and to the point.
they
For
they got no time for your shit. They
don't
got no time for your shit. Okay. It's just like, what do you want? Eat, pay, get out.
I'm a sensitive Californian crying in the corner, just like um
those, those guys would fit in so well here. Okay. Bring them. Send them over. Send them over.
but it's I come from fine dining. So when I go out to dinner, I pay
Right.
attention to certain things. Like when they're serving the food, are they serving with their elbow in your face or are they serving
Right.
open-handed? You know?
Yep.
And just so you know, if you're not familiar with this, actually in fine dining, many fine dining restaurants actually have it choreographed. So whenever
Yes.
your food is served, a plate is being put in front of everyone at the same time.
Yep.
And whoever's serving it is serving it so that they're facing you and being open towards you. Um,
Right.
and so, I mean, that stuff doesn't happen in Philadelphia. But the other thing that really grinds my gears is when everyone is like eating their entrees and like two people finish and they clear those plates before everyone else
Right.
is finished.
Right.
Drives me crazy because I'm a slow eater because I end up talking and entertaining, and then I all of a sudden feel like I have to rush through the rest of my meal,
Yep.
and I don't
Yep.
enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. That's really interesting because when I was in hotels, it was exactly that. You do not clear the table until everybody else has
Yeah,
finished eating,
yeah,
right? Like for exactly that reason, you don't want to put pressure on the person who's still eating to wump their food down
right,
and be done with it. And
right.
it was the same when we were doing banquets or functions.
Mhm.
A ten top, two people have finished eating, leave it there.
Yeah,
Just leave it there. Wait for the whole table.
yep,
Your flow is then a lot easier as well. You run into the kitchen and you go, okay, I've got three tables are completely cleared. Their starters,
right.
send me out their mains, right? And then you flow. The only times I've ever cleared in that situation was when a Karen used to put her hand up and go, "Oh my God, I finished my food. Can you clear my plate for me, please?" Um,
Gotta love the Karens.
and I'm like, "Dear Lord, woman, all right, just settle down. Don't get your
Yeah.
knickers in a twist. I'm gonna clear it for you." I did that once, and my operations manager pulled me aside and gave me a earful. He's like, you don't clear till everybody's finished." I was like, "Well, she was shouting at me to clear her plate. What do you want me to do?"
Right.
um, but here, all right, fine dining is pretty much dead here
Mm-hmm.
uh, for several reasons. People can't afford it. Um, People don't have the time for it. It's only really like the 1% of the population
Right.
who can go out and entertain and take their time over a meal. Like degustation menus here, all they're flop generally.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has time to sit for 3 hours and eat a little tiny
One bite
tasted
at a time.
kid. Well, yeah. Like what the hell? What's the rest of it?
With a few drops in their glass of the pairing.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Like, pairing this. Shut up. Just fill up my glass, man. Jesus wept. Um, so it's a lot of cafes and chain restaurants and stuff, and it's fast, right? It's fast and furious,
Right.
and it's probably like that in Philly. Get them in, feed them, get them the fuck out. Let's get the next um,
Yeah, but
turnover table.
even some of the mid-tier restaurants that are, more hang out for a while. I mean,
Right.
there's one sushi place in the neighborhood where the service is always fabulous. And I'm always like the person flagging down the manager saying, just want to let you know my server was amazing. She
Excellent.
this,
Excellent.
this, and I really appreciate her. Keep her, you know, and I
Good.
just wish
Yep.
you would go around to the rest of the restaurants and train them, or you would come here and just slap them around, you know.
Yeah, apparently that's not allowed anymore.
I mean, metaphorically, not realistically, like not
Oh, right. Wow, that's a shame. Okay, I'm
metaphorically
glad you cleared.
slap them around. Yeah.
I'm glad you cleared that up because I would have literally just slapped them around.
That's the story of how Reuben got deported from the United States.
Exactly. Became an illegal alien. Um, no, but had to run off to Mexico.
You
You
like
know,
end up on the FBI's most wanted, like the
yeah. So,
poor slapper, you know, like
and my mugshot on the poster would be like, you know,
sorry, here's a question. What is the worst service you have ever had somewhere?
um, that's interesting. I can't really say it's been the worst, but it's been a succession of shockers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example. Lucy and I, we went out to eat not too long ago. Friday night's normally our date night, and we go out, and we went to a fairly well-known restaurant chain. Serves a lot of local food and stuff. It's really quite nice. So we ordered our food. It came out, and we thought, right, we're gonna pick out. We're gonna order desserts, right? So I flagged this server down, very young Chinese girl, very pleasant, and I said, "Would you mind?" So this is the first thing, right? They'd seen that we had empty plates on our table.
Right.
Nobody came to clear them. Okay, that already that pisses me off.
Yeah.
So we flagged it down. We said, "Would you mind clearing our plates with ordered desserts?" And she went, "Yeah, sure." And then she goes off. I was like, "Okay, what's she doing?" And then she comes trundling back with a trolley, and on that trolley are two bins stacked with
Ooh.
dirty plates and cutlery. And she parks this thing next to our table, and she proceeds to clear the table and just dump the plates straight in those in those tubs, and moves on to the next table, who would actually ask for their plates to be cleared, and does exactly the same thing. And I'm like, on what planet is it acceptable to wheel your dirty crockery trolley,
No.
park it next to the table? I mean, if you can't
No.
carry 3 plates, take 2 at a time.
No. Right.
You know, and nobody's asking you to balance them on your head. Um, just okay. So that was one, and in the same place, Lucy ordered a drink that had soda in it.
Mhm.
Comes out, she takes a sip, she goes, the soda's flat. I was like, fine, okay, send it back. No staff on the floor, so she gets up, goes to the bar, um, and I hear, I can hear a muffled conversation, and then I hear the, when you open up a fresh, yep, right,
Mm-hmm.
and she came back with a drink. I said, did he just open up a new tin of soda for you? She went, yes. I said, I know exactly what's going on there. The bosses or the manager have said, don't waste
Right.
the soda or don't waste the fizzy drink. So he just topped up a drink with a flat soda.
A while, 3 hours
Right?
later, someone orders the rest.
Exactly. Exactly.
No.
You know that those things go flat in like what, 15 minutes, especially in this heat.
Right.
10 minutes max, right? Even if you put it in the fridge.
Right.
So I'm thinking these people have not got any training whatsoever. They've not had any training whatsoever. They've just been thrown in the deep end. And it's across the board. Everywhere we go out to eat, I'm really picky about this. Okay, I'm really picky about this. And Lucy gets pissed off with me. She's like, "Would you just sit down and eat your meal properly and stop managing the restaurant?" I can't help it. Um, and I don't blame them, okay? Because A, they've not been trained.
Right.
Uh, B, they've been told to do certain things. And then there's the all important C, which is some of them just don't care.
Right.
They may have had a bit of training, but they just don't care. And this is the thing about the service industry. You've got to have it in you.
Yeah.
If you don't have it in you, it's pointless.
Right.
Yeah. It's I can't think of one particularly horrendous thing that's made me get up and walk out, but it's just a succession of small things that drives me nuts. I mean, of course, there was the lady who fell dead face first in the main course, but that wasn't her fault.
Yeah. No. Well, it's interesting because I think of all the bad experiences I've had with service, and recently it's all been retail.
Really?
Yeah, retail has been just absolutely horrendous, and I'm sure this has to do with the pandemic. A lot of retail stores, like, they can't afford as many staff as they normally have, so their retail staff can't deliver on a certain at a certain level. But I was stranded in I was shopping for bras at Bloomingdale's in New York City, and this woman was helping me, and she was like, "I'll be right back with some sizes." I was waiting for 20 minutes.
Bloody hell.
And she had gotten bombarded at the desk to check people out. But I'm like, good, maybe just said, "Hey, I have someone in the dressing room."
Yeah, right.
In the dressing room, let me just let her know that I'm not going to be back with the sizes that I be back with. She just left me in there. And when I finally, because I found a couple things that worked, and I get in line to pay for them. She's like, "Oh, did you want to order some other colors in the same size?" I'm like, "No." I'm not getting the commission on that. I'm going to order them online.
Right.
No.
Right.
That's not how this works. You abandoned me. I was in there, and I was not comfortable.
But you actually raised a very important point. During the pandemic, many restaurants had to let loads of their staff go, right? And now that we're pretty much back to normal and open for business, they're struggling because they don't have enough staff.
Right.
And the guys who are there, they're getting hammered.
Right.
And in a way, I don't blame them. It's kind of gotten to the point where just consider yourself lucky you've got your correct food and drink in front of you.
Right.
Everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
It's
there's an art form to the server who knows they're going to be slammed and completely fucked, who goes around every table and is like, "Hey, here's what's up.
Yes.
Staffed right now. I'm going to give you the best experience I possibly can. But what I'm going to do right now is I just got quadruple sat, and I'm going to get you a drink order and their drink order and their drink order and their drink order. When I deliver them, I want you to let me know how quickly you drink."
Yep.
And we're just going to be doing this all evening.
Yeah.
And anything special, let me know, but I'm going to be doing this all evening.
You're absolutely right. I used to go and tell tables, "Guys, listen, we're getting slammed. Kitchen's getting slammed. I know you were told this at the door. I hope you were told this at the door. But let me get your drinks for you. And it's going to be, 30 minutes, whatever. I'll be around. I might not be constantly at your table, but, just throw something at me if you need something." And people just need to know, right? They just need to be kept in the loop.
Yeah.
And then it's up to them if they want to stay or not. If you do want to stay, then don't fucking bitch about it because you've already been told.
Exactly.
But
if they have kids, feed the kids first. That is the first thing that should hit the
table.
table.
Oh, dear Lord. I know, right?
Because no one wants to be sitting there, not that table, not the tables around them, and not you.
No.
With a screaming child who's upset haven't gotten their chicken fingers yet.
Right. I very briefly worked at a place where their kids' meal was a mac and cheese.
Hmm.
And I said, okay, cool. What's the cooking time for this? And they were 15 minutes. And I said to them, I said to all the management team, I said, are you all fucking nuts?
No,
You put a 15-minute cooking time on a kid's meal. Are you nuts?
no.
And to this day, they haven't changed it yet. So, fair dues to them.
Yeah.
Uh, Stupid idiots. So that's there are so many factors, and a lot of people, especially in this country,
Hmm.
they think being a server is really easy.
Yeah, it's not. Terrible.
It's not.
I got fired from 2 different serving jobs. I was
Right. Right.
it's a really hard job. And what it takes is being able to like remember like 17 different things that you have to do at the same time.
Yep.
Prioritize
Yep.
them real time, go and
Yep.
get everything done, and also remember like the 17 other things that you have to do next.
Yes.
I can't do that. I get distracted. I get sucked into a conversation. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I have drinks in the water. Oh.
It is really tough, and service in the in the States as well. You guys, you got to make your own desserts in some places, and you got to make your own drinks. Like
I worked at places where
like
you make your own salads.
make your own. Fuck that shit, man. And make your own teas and make your own coffees and all that. Like Jesus wept. So actually, the servers in this country are really spoiled. Because we got bartenders who make that. We got the kitchen crew who make the salads and the desserts and things like that. And
Yeah.
really, all you have to do is just fucking take an order, get it right.
Yeah.
Serve the food, clear it. Serve the drink, clear it. Try and
Yeah.
upsell desserts. Nobody wants to get me started on upselling
I
and
know.
how nobody wants to do it because they're scared to talk. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Here's what drives me nuts about the resistance to upselling, because someone has already ordered something that they're excited about, right?
Correct.
They've just ordered, say they ordered the mac and cheese and they're like, oh, I just love mac and cheese. And you're like,
Right.
mac and cheese is amazing and I fully support your order. Would you want to make it that much better? Like, let's make tonight special. We can either dress it up with some lobster baked in or some truffle, some fresh truffle.
Yeah.
We just got a shipment in from Italy. It's to die for. Which would you
Right.
like?
Right.
It's like the patron at that point gets to be like, oh, like, do I want to treat myself? And they can always say no. Oh no, it's fine. I just really want
Right.
like traditional mac and cheese. Right.
And 99% of the people do want to treat themselves. They just need a slight push. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. Hang on, I'm just gonna move inside. I'm sat on the balcony and it's getting really bright, and I don't want the sun bouncing off my head.
My balcony, it's pitch black. It's nighttime.
It's just cause you're being difficult and working on a different time zone. That's all.
I know. We're exactly 12. You're exactly 12 hours ahead of me, aren't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided just like right now, I'm not doing any more calls on my laptop with you because you just fuck it up for me. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I'm a witch. What can I say?
Yeah, wait.
There's a reason why you're not allowed to bring electronics into Hogwarts.
There you go, right?
Yeah, it just messes with it. Can't use them. Could you imagine? In 2022 being a Muggle-born kid who's had a tablet your whole childhood?
I know, right? And suddenly
apps and like the internet, and you know how to look shit up, and then you go to Hogwarts and you're like, "What is this? Why can't I?"
I know.
Where are the computers? Like, I think some kids would just like screw magic.
But I reckon it would be nice in a way to get back to that time.
Yeah.
And okay, this is the technology, right? No servers write anything down anymore because everybody's on a tablet,
Right.
right? They come up to your table, they Hobbs, fuck off. They take your order and they key it on the tablet and they fire it, but
Well,
they're not repeating the order back to you.
right.
And
This is more
it,
common in Europe and outside the US, by the way. In the US, a lot of restaurants are still writing things down.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like writing stuff down.
Mhm.
Because let's be fair, sometimes the customer is a dick. And if you've written it down and
Yeah.
you've repeated it back to them, you can go, listen, I'm sorry, but this is what you said to me. I repeated it to you.
Yeah.
Um, well, it's really hard to do on a tablet,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a there's a lot of new tech. Have you seen? I don't know if you're aware of this now, but I think it's in Australia. They are trialing. um, they're like food lockers. Okay, so you download this app, whatever. You place your order.
Mhm.
It gets put in this food locker, either a warmer or chiller,
Yeah.
and you just go there, scan your phone, your app, whatever. It opens up, and you go off with your food. So there's no actual human interaction at all,
Well, why not just order delivery? Like
right?
that just seems annoying. Like I don't want to if I don't want to go someplace and I don't want to talk to people, like I'd rather someone
You
just come
get
to my home,
exactly.
right?
Um,
I'm not a fan. I'm an extrovert. And so when I go out, I love the interaction with the host. I love my interaction with my server. I love sitting at the bar and having a nice conversation
right.
with the bartender. Um, I love just hearing how they're interacting with each other too. Oh God.
Can you see this? Can you see this idiot?
I have Luna over here. Hey.
Oh, Luna. Luna. I've got Hobbs. Just he's still feeding, you see, so everything is fair game
Oh my
to
God.
go in his mouth. I know, what a pain in the ass.
Oh my
No, but you're right. You're right. Everybody's so head up about AI and tech killing the food industry.
God. Right.
And at some point, maybe in the next 20 or 30 years, yes, when we move into the Jetsons world and everybody's just eating capsules
That's not gonna
for
happen.
their
That's not gonna happen.
nah,
No.
no,
No, no, no, no. I mean,
uh,
people love the experience of going someplace and seeing an art form that someone else has created for them.
exactly,
Exactly what
exactly,
it is. And
and
social aspect to it that you just can't replicate with AI.
no, I mean, let's face it, you go out with your friends to sit in a bar and have a few drinks and have a chat. You don't do that. You can't do that with AI, can you?
No.
Um,
Well, and
you want the music,
it's not the same if you went to like a room that has a beer vending machine.
right?
No, like you can't ask the beer vending machine about like taste profiles, what kind of beers they prefer. Is there anything local
Correct.
that's like done by a cool person? You know,
Yes.
it's not
Um,
the same experience.
no, and it's you're right. Dining out is yes, it's about the food and the service, but a lot of the times it's just about getting together with your friends and your family or whatever, and sitting down and just talking nonsense and enjoying yourselves. And one of the big mistakes that many places here make, they think because they've got a shit hot chef and the food has lava exploding from it or nitrous oxide or nitrogen, whatever, man,
Yeah.
whatever
Mhm.
BS.
Yeah.
They neglect their service
Right.
and they forget it's a two-pronged thing. If your service sucks, your food may be amazing. Not many people are going to come back. If your food sucks and your service is amazing, people will still come back.
Yep.
The number of times I've flirted my way out of bad situations, I've made friends with people. The good servers, the good managers, they get a following.
Yeah.
And if they leave an outlet and they go somewhere else, these customers will go back to the new outlet to see them,
Yep.
because they know they're going to get a certain level of service and uh, camaraderie and stuff like that. It's not rocket science, but for some people it is.
Right. Right.
Um,
I think one of the ways in which AI and social media could actually add some dignity to the service profession is to allow for service, professionals to have some kind of way where the people who come and patronize them can connect with them and follow them from restaurant to restaurant. And then they can go to
right,
the restaurant and say, hey, you should hire me because I have 500 people who have followed me from 3 different restaurants because they really
correct,
like my service. And
correct.
I'll take good care
Uh,
of them. And here's
exactly.
my average on checks, and here's
Yes,
I typically get tipped, and this is blah 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 blah. And they're able to email, text, or reach out to any of those people at any time to say,
yeah.
hey, I know you love white truffles. We're having a white truffle dinner next week. We'd
There
love to
you go. There
like.
you go. It's exactly. It's all these little things, right?
Mhm.
It is just a little thing. It take you, what, 20 minutes to let your followers know that we've got this special on or
Yeah.
whatever. It might mean nothing to you, but it means a big deal to them.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's it's. I mean, you can blame the pandemic to a certain extent, but here things are getting worse,
Yeah.
and the owners are really milking it because they're thinking you guys need a job.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna just hire you and rape you. But what they're forgetting is every outlet's in the same boat. So it's not
Right.
an employer's market anymore. It's an
No.
employee's market.
Right.
And these places need the staff more than the staff need them.
Right.
And I've always said to every manager I've ever worked with, I've always said to them, don't be too cocky because you're only as good as the people under you. Um, and if things go to shit on your day off, then you've actually failed,
Right.
right? You should want your team to be able to carry on with you, with or without you there.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Well, and the other
yeah,
thing about good service is once you train your core group of employees to give good service, they're going to train the next new hire
exactly,
and the next new hire and the
exactly.
next new hire. It's not like they're going to have to invest in like new training every single time they hire a new person.
No,
It becomes the culture. It becomes the standard of the business.
yes, exactly.
It itself.
That
It's like
makes everybody's life so easy.
family with all the emotional problems and disturbances and all that stuff gets passed.
Uh,
Oh,
don't even get me started on that. I remember I walked into the outlet once and the bartender, his hair was all over the place. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? What's going on with your hair? And it's like, oh, I overslept and I don't have money to buy hair gel. I was like, son of a bitch. Is that all right? Fortunately, the outlet was in the mall, so I strolled over to a pharmacy,
mm-hmm.
um, got him a tube of hair gel, went to pay for it, and the cashier looked at me, looked at the hair gel, looked at me, and just started giggling. Started giggling, and I'm like, I was like, for fuck's sakes, it's not for me, okay? Just give me that.
So funny. Reuben, it's getting close to my bedtime since I'm,
All
12
right, yes.
nighttime. Uh, I'd love to hear what's your final like message of wisdom to any business owner or restaurant owner who's struggling right now with their servers.
Right. I would say this. I know you're struggling. I know funds might be tight, but invest in the training, be very clear on what you need from them. Because oftentimes, especially if it's a family run business, there's 4 or 5 different messages coming from 4 or 5 different people. So they need to hear one voice, one message. And you know what? If they're not working out, if they're not doing live, they just cannot change. Get rid of them.
Right.
It's pointless trying to change somebody who doesn't want to change. There's other people out there who need work,
Right.
and it'll probably work out better for you.
Right. Yep.
And of course, hire me to help you out with the training.
I support this message.
Right?
Anyway, thank you so much for coming live with me. This has been so much
No,
fun.
thank you.
It's
Thank
always
you.
lovely to see your face.
Yes, it's always lovely to see yours. Take care. Don't fall over anymore.
I know.
Okay?
No more falling down the stairs, I promise.
I can't. My heart can't take it. All right, it's just too much.
My ass can't take it. I don't know
Yeah,
about
well, that's that as well.
Anyway, with that, have an amazing Friday night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Asher and LinkedIn user, I'm sorry we just weren't able to see your name. I'm going to be going live for every day for the rest of this month, so stay tuned. I don't really know what I'm going to be going live on, so if you have any questions you want me to answer in my lives, then please pop them in my DMs. Other than that, I'm Katie McManus. This is Reuben Miranda. Thank you for joining us this evening, and have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. Bye.